give them a call, no call back. And I'm so like, it's more than just this situation, but just everything around what you have to do to get an opportunity has me so fucking mad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what more can an actor do but have an executive producer email them and say, and I like our relationship. I don't want to be the actor who is like annoying him as well. And so I'm like, do I reach back out to him and be like, hey, my management couldn't get me in, can you get me in?
Yes.
I can't do that.
Yes. You guys, I think the most important thing to remember is, here's the thing. Your relationship with your reps is like any good, healthy give and take relationship. Like, would you stand for somebody not returning? Would you stand for your non-existent husband, who I always think exists? Would you stand for your imaginary husband to not text you back or call you no, you wouldn't. 3 weeks later, you'd be like, I'm out. So I think we have to, yes, if you are, like you said, we always want to caution on the side of like, not everybody's busy. And we always want to give our reps the benefit of the doubt because they're hustling and trying hard to get people in. And you are a part of, I don't know, 150 clients maybe, or 200 clients or 50 or whatever. And they're trying to service their clients. I get it. But I think it's just a modicum of respect and making sure that communication is always open, that they return a call. And sometimes, again, giving people the benefit of the doubt, sometimes people don't have as much access as we think they do in the business. And so they're passive about it because they don't want to admit, you know what, we don't have any contacts at that office. And so instead of saying that, they don't respond and they put it back, the onus on you, and then the actor feels like shit because there was no movement, there was no response, you missed an opportunity. So these are many different ways to think about it. It's still not okay. It's just, if people could be more transparent and be like, you know what, we don't know that casting office, but let's see if we can get you in. And if not, maybe you can go in directly, whatever, right? So I think you did everything right. I wouldn't have waited maybe 3 weeks, Harisi. I think especially in the TV world where things are happening faster, maybe in a film you have that kind of time, the turnaround is so fast, you wait a few days and you follow up. And then if nothing is being taken care of, you do it yourself. And if nothing has happened yet and they're still taking submissions, you email your contact there, the guy, and just say, look, you know what, my reps aren't really kind of working for me right now. I'm in the process of getting new reps. Just keep it simple and light. I'm submitting my own stuff. You do it that way. And there's no harm, no shame about it, you guys. Like, we're always going to be in the business of self-promotion and self-hustling. And sometimes the agents can come in and do the deal once you've gotten the job, right? Or, one of the things that I think is really, we forget that it is a business of networking. And I don't mean networking in that gross way in which we go to parties and we schmooze, and then we go to Ibiza and we party together. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about networking means, I know you, and I also know a casting director who's casting something that's so right for it. And so I just mention your name and they're like, oh, I know Harisi, or that's how it works. A lot of times the people who are working all the time, it's actually a smaller umbrella that's covering many projects. I know a client who's done 3 movies with the same company. They keep hiring her over and over again. Well, I mean, I get it. See what I'm saying? But she's at the top of the game, but it makes me realize oh, whoa, if you just are professional and you do good work, people are going to keep reaching out. That's how work begets work. So I get the frustration. I think maybe you could spin it and see it on the bright side, because who you are in the work is changing so dramatically, and your confidence, and you're stepping up to the way you want to create, and you showing up in the work in such a more tangible way. Maybe this is a blessing in disguise where you're like, you know what? I deserve at least somebody to respond to an email. So maybe it's time to be like, bye. And then find new reps. So maybe it was a wake-up call. You know what I mean?
Can I add one thing?
Yeah, for sure.
I have a girlfriend who's a president of a production company, and she, same situation last year. She was she wanted to put me up for a job, and she told me to reach out to my reps about it. And my reps were like, we don't like doing that. Can you, just because it's less professional to do it that way than for the producer to reach out to casting and say, I just want to see this person. So, because they don't know your relationship, right? And so I would just ask him if he would be okay with just asking casting to request you.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, that's another way,
because
yeah.
That way, like, it's no skin off his nose to say, I just want to see this actor. Like, they don't know what your relationship is, and that way casting will take it more seriously, and maybe your reps will take it more seriously, and then you can tell them to F off, you know?
Yeah. So a lot of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody can relate. Yeah, it's part of negotiating this business. So it's good. You're entitled to all those feelings, Harisi, about it, because it can be frustrating and maddening and rage-inducing, and yeah. But I think again, it's mostly about, I think, the personal part. You want to be seen, you want to be heard, you want to be respected, even if they couldn't do anything. Just being like, you know what, just communicating. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a good.